morning children, and welcome back to your chemistry class. So in the previous video we had studied certain formulas like, for example, equivalent conductivity. What was equivalent conductivity? It is equal to specific conductivity into 1000 upon normality, right? And what is molar conductivity? Molar conductivity was also equal to specific conductivity into 1000 upon molarity, right? So from these two formulas, what do we understand? That specific conductivity is proportional to molar conductivity. So the conductivity, that is your K conductivity, your kappa, it always increases with the concentration of the solution. When there is increase in the concentration of the solution. Clear? Now why the conductivity increases with the increase in the solution? Because the number of ions per unit volume, they increase with the increase in the concentration of the solution, and therefore the conductivity also increases, right? Next point is that your conductivity decreases with the decrease of concentration on decrease in the concentration of the solution. Okay, so why there is decrease in the conductivity on decrease in the concentration of the solution, or in other words we say that when the solution is diluted or in the dilution form, then the conductivity decreases. Why? Because the number of ions per unit volume, they also decrease with the decrease in the concentration of the solution, right? Therefore the conductivity also decreases. Now we have understood that your equivalent conductivity is proportional to molar conductivity. Clear? So over here, whether we talk about equivalent conductivity or molar conductivity, both will be same. So we discuss more about molar conductivity in detail, right? So first let us understand the variation of molar conductivity with different concentrations. So let us start off with the strong electrolyte. Okay, by first understanding a graph. Okay, so I'm drawing a rough graph over here. Try to understand. The y-axis, we take the molar conductivity, right? And on the x-axis we take the concentration. Clear? Now remember, this is 0. The concentration over here is 0, right? So we are going to obtain a straight line over here. We are going to obtain a straight line. Now why are we going to obtain a straight line? This variation of molar conductivity of the solution of the strong electrolyte, it is given by an equation, right? The equation is molar conductivity is equal to molar conductivity at infinite dilution minus B under root C. Okay, this is the equation, that is Debye-Huckel-Onsager equation, right? What is this called as? This is called as Debye-Huckel-Onsager equation. Now if you look at this graph, what are you going to observe? Try to understand. Okay, now as we move towards the left hand side, right, what is happening over here? The concentration is decreasing. Why the concentration is decreasing? It is coming to 0, right? That means as we reach over here, the concentration is 0. That means much dilution is seen this side. That means more water has been added over here. Therefore, dilution has increased, right? So, let me show it to you over here. It is going to show you the maximum molar conductivity. Okay, over here it is going to show you maximum molar conductivity, and this maximum molar conductivity, it is expressed like this: maximum molar conductivity or infinite molar conductivity, whatever you can call it as, right? So what happens as the dilution has increased, or we can say that the concentration has decreased, the molar conductivity will increase. So here we find maximum conductivity presented by this, right? So what we say over here, that the molar conductivity at infinite dilution is always equal to 0, right? Molar conductivity at infinite dilution is always equal to 0. When did we see? When your concentration was equal to 0. Clear? Now let's talk about the slope that we see over here. What do we find? It is a straight line. So how can we talk that it is a straight line? Because it follows y is equal to mx plus c. Y is your molar conductivity. Y is your molar conductivity is equal to, what is your x? X is your under root c. So minus b under root c. This is your what? X-axis, plus the y-intercept. What is your y-intercept? The infinite molar conductivity. That is your y-intercept. Okay, this is your y-intercept. So I hope this is very clear to you, that this equation or this equation, they are both the same. What are they called as? Debye-Huckel-Onsager equation, which follows the straight slope equation, and it completely depends upon the concentration of the solution, right? What did we study? That as the dilution increases, concentration has decreased, that is the molar conductivity will increase. Clear? And so here we are going to find the maximum molar conductivity. How is maximum molar conductivity expressed? It is expressed by this formula, and it shows a straight line. Why? Because it follows the slope equation. How it follows the slope equation is what I have mentioned over here. Y axis is your molar conductivity, your x axis is your under root c, and your b is the constant. B over here is your constant, right? Plus the y-intercept. What is your y-intercept? The infinite molar conductivity, and hence we say that we obtain a straight line. I hope this point is clear. Now let me explain you why the molar conductivity decreases as the concentration increases, or in other words we can say the molar conductivity increases with dilution. So the trend of this change of this molar conductivity of a strong electrolyte with its concentration, it can be explained in the terms of interionic attraction and the solute-solvent interactions. Okay, interionic interactions and solute-solvent interactions. Now, in a concentrated solution, the interionic separation is too less, or you may say it is too small. So an ion, it is more surrounded by large number of oppositely charged ions, and therefore the cation-anion attraction is also large. When the potential difference is applied on the electrodes, then a moving cation, it always dragged by stream of anions moving in the opposite direction. It is something like, if you would like to see, where to show you, here you can see. So if suppose this is your cathode, okay, and this is your anode, fine, this is your positive and the negative charges. So what are we going to see? If this is a positive one, then all the negative ions will be dragged towards the cathode, okay, and just the opposite happens. If this is your cathode and this is your anode, just positive and negative, then negative charge moves this way, taking along all the positive charges with it. Clear? So this anion, it is dragged behind by the stream of these positive cations moving in the opposite direction. This interionic attraction, it hinders the movements of the cations and anions, and this is the cause of low value of molar conductivity in the concentrated solution of the strong electrolytes, right? But on dilution, this interionic attraction, it diminishes or it becomes low, and the cations and anions, they move independently of each other. Thus molar conductivity, it increases on dilution. I hope this point is very clear to all of you. Then the strong electrolyte, they are almost completely ionized in solution. Therefore the change of the concentration does not bring about any change in the degree of ionization, and this is the reason why the change in the molar conductivity is not much seen as it is expected from the change in the concentration. Now, the first point says that in an aqueous solution of an electrolyte, the specific capacity, it increases with increase of concentration, right? So why this happens? The specific conductivity is the conductance due to the number of ions per unit volume of the solution. Now on increasing the concentration, as the question says, on increasing the concentration of the solution, the number of ions per unit volume also increase, and therefore the specific conductivity also increases. Clear? So I mention it over here. On increasing the concentration of the solution, the number of ions per unit volume increases, therefore specific conductivity increases. I hope this is clear. Okay, another question. In the aqueous solution of electrolyte, the molar conductivity decreases with the increase in concentration, right? So in an aqueous solution of an electrolyte, the molar conductivity decreases with increase in concentration. Now why this happens? That molar conductivity, it is given by what formula? Specific conductivity upon the moles of electrolyte per unit volume of the solution. Clear? Now on increasing the concentration of the solution, though the value of your specific conductivity increases, but what happens? But the increase is small in proportion to the increase in the value of your moles of the electrolyte. Therefore, this ratio K by C, it decreases, and hence we can say that your molar conductivity also decreases. Clear? Now let's talk about another question, like in an aqueous solution of an electrolyte, the specific conductivity decreases with the dilution. Why? Now we know that on diluting the solution, the number of ions per unit volume, they decrease, and therefore your specific conductivity also decreases. Clear? Another question could be that in an aqueous solution of an electrolyte, the molar conductivity increases on dilution. Why so? Because we know that molar conductivity, it is equal to the specific conductivity upon the moles of electrolyte present in per unit volume of the solution. So now on dilution, what happens? There is decrease in the specific conductivity, right? And this is less in proportion to the decrease in the value of the number of moles in that solution, and therefore this ratio K by C increases, and hence your molar conductivity, it increases. So I hope this is understood. The variation of the molar conductivity in the strong electrolyte is very clear to you. Now we are going to talk about the variation of the molar conductivity with concentration of a weak electrolyte. So when we add water, the ions, they increase, and therefore your molar conductivity also increases. All that I have already explained you. So once again, if I write it down over here, that if we increase the dilution, then your volume also increases. Then what happens? Number of ions, they also increase. Therefore your molar conductivity also increases. Now over here, in such weak or dilute solution, what kind of a graph are we going to obtain? We are going to obtain a hyperbola graph. Okay, if this is your molar conductivity, again see, so as we are going to move towards left, right? Now suppose if we take formic acid and acetic acid, okay, sorry, so what are we going to see over here? First, the ions were less. On diluting, what happens? The ions started increasing. So formic acid over here forms the graph above the acetic acid. Why this happens? Though formic acid is a weak electrolyte, but it is a stronger acid than the acetic acid, right? Hence it forms the graph above the acetic acid. Now over here you will not see any straight line, no straight line, so no equation is given over here. We cannot calculate over here your infinite molar conductivity, as no point over here, if you see, coincides by the y-axis, because there is no y-intercept, right? So over here, what can we talk about the conductance? The conductance, it decreases. Is this point clear? So to solve this, a method called as Collas's law. Collas's law is introduced, right? So by this law, we can calculate the infinite molar conductivity for a weak electrolyte and also for the strong electrolyte, and that I am going to teach you in the next video. Thank you. That's all for today.